Okay, so you want to run a Disney theme park. Build some rides, put a castle in the middle, charge people to walk through the gate. Simple enough. Walt Disney World alone drew over 50 million visitors in a recent year, and Disney's theme parks division generated more than $34 billion in annual revenue. Surely the math writes itself. It does, but not in the way most people assume. The ticket price you paid to get in the gate is almost the least important number in the entire business. Let's start with the number that resets how you think about this industry. Disney's theme parks, experiences, and products division posted an operating margin north of 25% in a recent fiscal year, a level of profitability that would make most retail and hospitality companies jealous. For comparison, a typical hotel chain runs margins closer to 10 to 15%. Disney isn't running a theme park. It's running one of the most efficient cash extraction machines in modern entertainment, and it built that machine one decision at a time over 7 decades. Here's the part almost nobody thinks about before they book the trip. Building a single new land inside an existing park is not a small expense. Star Wars: Galaxy's Edge, the newest major land at Disneyland and Disney's Hollywood Studios, cost an estimated $1 billion per location to build, roughly $2 billion combined across both coasts. A single headline attraction inside a park, something like Rise of the Resistance, can cost $200 million on its own once you account for the animatronics, ride vehicles, and show technology packed into it. These are not amusement park budgets. These are budgets closer to building a small stadium, and Disney typically opens 2 or 3 of these major investments every single year across its global park network. So before a single guest walks through the turnstile, the fixed costs are already enormous. A single major theme park can employ 15,000 to 20,000 cast members, from ride operators to costumed characters to the maintenance crews who keep every animatronic and roller coaster running safely. Total annual payroll across Disney's park division runs into the billions of dollars, and unlike a factory, none of this staffing can be automated away, because the entire product being sold is a controlled, immersive human experience. Then there's maintenance, and this is the cost most visitors never think about at all. Rides at Disney parks undergo nightly inspections and refurbishments that can shut down individual attractions for weeks or months at a time. A single major ride refurbishment can cost $10 to $30 million, and Disney runs dozens of these projects simultaneously across its parks every single year just to keep the experience at the standard guests expect. Now here's the part that actually explains why this business generates so much profit despite those enormous costs. The ticket price is the smallest transaction Disney makes with you all day. A one-day ticket to Magic Kingdom can run $115 to $199 depending on demand, but that's just the entry fee. Once you're inside the gate, Disney has engineered an entire ecosystem designed to separate you from significantly more money, and you'll barely notice it happening. A basic quick-service meal inside the park can run $15 to $20 per person. A sit-down character dining experience can run $60 to $80 per person. Merchandise margins on items like plush toys and branded apparel routinely exceed 60%, because Disney owns both the intellectual property and the manufacturing relationships that produce them. And then there's the hotel side of the business. Disney operates over 25 resort hotels on property, with rooms ranging from $200 a night at value resorts to over $1,000 a night at deluxe properties, and guests staying on property spend meaningfully more per day than day visitors, because staying inside the Disney bubble removes almost every incentive to leave and spend money anywhere else. Here's the counterintuitive piece. You'd think building more attractions would be the top priority for growing profit. In many ways, the bigger profit driver has actually been pricing psychology rather than new construction. Disney introduced dynamic pricing on tickets years ago, meaning the exact same one-day ticket can cost significantly more on a projected high-demand day than a low-demand one, smoothing crowds while maximizing revenue on the days people want to visit most. Add paid line skip products like Disney Genie Plus, running roughly $15 to $30 per person per day, and Disney has found a way to monetize the single biggest complaint in the entire industry, waiting in line, turning frustration itself into a new revenue stream. But this business is not without real risk. In 2020, Disney's theme parks were forced to close entirely for months during the pandemic, and the company's parks, experiences, and products division posted an operating loss of nearly $2 billion for that fiscal year, a stunning reversal for a division that normally generates billions in profit. Even after parks reopened, capacity restrictions and reduced attendance meant the recovery took years, not months, because the fixed costs of maintaining a 25,000-acre property in Florida alone don't pause just because attendance drops to zero. So let's do the actual math on why Disney keeps investing billions into new lands and attractions anyway. A single new land like Galaxy's Edge, costing roughly $1 billion to build, is projected to drive meaningfully higher per visitor spending across food, merchandise, and extended stays for years after opening, not just from the new attraction itself but from the increased overall park attendance and length of stay it generates. Disney's own reporting suggests theme park visitors who experience a major new attraction extend their trip length and increase their per-day spending measurably compared to visitors who don't, meaning the return on that billion-dollar investment shows up across the entire resort ecosystem, not just at the turnstile of the new land itself. Disney's parks, experiences, and products division generated over $34 billion in revenue and roughly $9 billion in operating income in a recent fiscal year, numbers that dwarf what most people assume a theme park business could realistically produce. The rides keep getting more elaborate, the lines keep getting monetized, and every single detail inside those gates, the layout, the food pricing, the merchandise placement near every exit, is engineered by a company that understood decades ago that the castle was never really the product. You didn't come to Disney World to ride a roller coaster. You came to spend an entire day, and often an entire vacation, inside a building-sized machine specifically designed to make that spending feel like magic instead of what it actually is.
Thanks for watching.